This EPB Classic Rerun is brought to you by Calvert and Nunn Insurance in Glasgow. Calvert and Nunn Insurance not only offer a variety of policies, but are exceptional in their customer service and up-to-date quotes. Contact Vicki Bartley and her staff for any of your insurance needs. Calvert and Nunn Insurance is next to the Plaza Theater in downtown Glasgow.
Hi, I'm Katie Gusson with news. First, we will start out with national news. Today in national news, a soldier was killed in Bosnia. An American soldier died when a landmine exploded in northern Bosnia. He was the first American killed in action since the peace mission began. The name of the soldier is Sergeant Donald Duggan. It is estimated that there are between 3 and 6 million mines scattered across Bosnia. Balkan leaders promised to stick by the peace plan that halted in Bosnia war. The first U.S. combat troops arrived in Bosnia last year were also the first to leave. The remaining 4 troops that arrived December 18th will leave over the next 3 days. Now for some national news. Ollie Lander, Miss Louisiana, was crowned Miss USA recently. She beat 50 other contestants for her title. First runner-up was Miss Kansas, Danielle Boatwright. Second runner-up was Miss Tennessee, Becca Lee. Now to Jason with sports.
Hi, I'm Jason with sports. In college basketball, Kentucky hammered Tennessee 90-50. Kentucky continues its winning ways in the SEC. The player of that game was Tony Doak with 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Kentucky's bench continues to outscore the opponents. In pro basketball, the Lakers beat the Mavericks. The Lakers' Magic Johnson hitting skyhook in his best Kareem Abdul-Jabbar imitation scored 18 of his season-high 30 points in the fourth quarter as host Los Angeles held off Dallas. Playing the entire fourth quarter, Johnson added 11 assists and 8 rebounds as the Lakers won their 5th straight and improved to 6-1 since Johnson came out of retirement. Jim Jackson led the Mavs with 31 points, and George McLeod had 29. In Major League Baseball, St. Louis Cardinals get a few new players. They got Ron Gant, Royce Clayton, and Dennis Eckersley. In the National Hockey League, the Pittsburgh Penguins hosted the New York Rangers. The final score was Pittsburgh 4, New York 3. The star of the game was Jackyard Jagger. The scorer of Pittsburgh were Peter Nedved with his 25th goal of the season, Jamar Jagger with his 47th and 48th goals of the season, and led the NHL. Mario Lemieux won the game in overtime with his 48th goal of the season. Scoring for the Rangers were Nicholas Sandstrom with his 7th and 8th goal of the season, and Alex Cava Love with his 14th goal of the season. Dale Earnhardt couldn't do any more than he did in the Daytona 500. He built a car just for the Daytona 500 and put in hundreds of hours of engine work. Dale Jarrett held off Earnhardt Sunday for the second time. for the second time in 4 years, Town Winston Cup's biggest event. Jarrett drove past Earnhardt's Chevrolet Monte Carlo into the lead on lap 177. Jarrett finished 0.12 seconds and 2.5 car lengths in front of Earnhardt. And now we're going to show you a video of the Glasgow High School swim team. On this tape, Katie Gilson will be interviewing Mr. Joe Mason. At the end of the tape, we will show you one other place in Glasgow that has an indoor swimming pool. Can you guess?
Coach Mason, how many swim teams do you have?
We have just one team. Basically, it's made up of all the different age groups, from kids from 5 to 18. But it's all just one team. They all swim at the same meet, and just swim different events.
What kind of events do the swimmers do?
What kind of events do? They do 4 different, basically 4 different events: freestyle, backstroke, butterfly, and breaststroke. And them are made up of different distances, from 25s for the young kids all the way up to 200s for the older kids.
We'll just do it before I say anything. It's not. We'll do it before I say anything.
Well, that basically depends on the age of the swimmers, but for kids 8 to 10 years old, they do around 50 to 60 laps each practice.
We heard that swimming is a very good exercise. Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree. The swimming works every muscle in the body, and it also allows you to work the muscles at the same time. It doesn't put the pressure on the muscles as running does. So at the same time that you get the workout, you don't have the stress on the body, the joints.
We will see swimming events in the Olympics this year.
You should see us swimming events in the Olympics this year. The Americans have done very well in the past, and I look for them to do well again. Backstroke going away, backstroke going away. Butterfly.
That's the butterfly.
Freestyle. What do you need?
And again, this is the breaststroke. And this is Andrew Whiteside. He's a member of the high school swim team. Catherine Vick graduated from Happy Valley last year. She's doing the breaststroke. These two boys are also on the swim team, as are Anthony Mason and Thomas Vick, who you saw on the tape. All 4 go to Happy Valley School, and with us right now we have Bo McDaniel and Tevis Smith.
We visited the swim team. We visited the YMCA swim team.
Did you know that the YMCA isn't the only place in Glasgow that has an indoor swimming pool?
This is Daisy.
Let's get in.
Oh no, girls, you can't get in. We've got to go back to school. If you if you want to get in, you can have your mom and dad come reserve you a room out here at Days Inn.
Could we at least get a jacuzzi?
Sorry, not today.
Come to the lobby to get a room.
They allowed us to go upstairs and see Daisy's suite.
This is the standard room. This is the senior executive suite, including a jacuzzi. Miss Minor, can we get in?
Maybe another time.
Aww. On. Oh, I just put it on. You can see the swimming pool from outside.
This is a view from upstairs, from in the executive suite.
You can see the swimming pool from out the through the window. Look, Miss Miners, look. This is Danielle Clark and Katie Gilson saying goodbye from Daisy Inn.
In college basketball, the U of L Cardinals beat Cincinnati Bearcats 72-66. Tick Rogers was the player of that game. Kentucky beat Alabama 84-65. Western Kentucky beat Louisiana Tech 66-72. In high school basketball, the Lady Scotties beat Caverna, Cumberland, and Franklin Simpson, but the Scotties lost to Caverna, Cumberland, and Franklin Simpson. The JV ladies beat Caverna, and the Franklin Simpson game was canceled. JV men also beat Caverna, and the freshman men beat Caverna. The district tournament at Allen County Scottsville Gym. The men's game will be at 7 p.m. Tuesday, Glasgow will play Barron County. Wednesday, the women's team play at 6:30 p.m. They'll play Edmondson. Our SpongeBall award goes to Tennessee. In Glasgow Little League, the Mavericks beat the Cavs, the Bucks beat the Rockets, the Warriors were over the Pistons, the Nuggets beat the Hornets, the Jazz beat the Heat, the Knicks beat the Lakers, the Spurs beat the Suns, Pacers beat the 76ers, the Bulls beat the Bullets, the Nuggets beat the Bucks, the Hawks-Cavs game is unknown, the Hornets beat the Rockets, the Mavericks beat the Magic, the Jazz beat the Heat, the 76ers beat the Spurs, the Lakers beat the Nets. Games tonight will be between the Pacers and the Jazz, the Bucks and the Heat, and the Knicks and the Bulls. A regular season will end this coming Saturday. In the Kiwanis Girls League, the Suns beat the Wildcats 26-22. The Cardinals beat the Magic 20-15. The Bulls got a bye. Now to Jake with weather.
Hi, I'm Jake Schenberger with weather. We've seen rainy weather with highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. In Bowling Green, it's been high in the 55s and low in the 44s. This week in Louisville, it was high in the 55s, low in 45s. In national weather, it was 20 degrees around Maine, 30 degrees in New York, 40 degrees in Virginia, 50 degrees in North Carolina, and in South Carolina it was 60 degrees. In Florida it was 30 degrees. Texas was 80 degrees. Nebraska was 50 degrees. California was 60 degrees, and some snow in Oregon with 40 degrees. Here's some cool weather facts. The hottest day was in Death Valley, California, 134 degrees Fahrenheit. The coldest day was in Prospect Camp, Alaska, with minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The wettest time was in Kauai, Hawaii, with 460 inches of rain. It took a month. The snowiest time was 1 month's snowfall in Tamarack, California, with 390 inches of rain. Baghdad, California once went for 767 days without rain. Average wind speed on Mount Washington, New Hampshire is 35.3 miles per hour. The highest wind ever recorded there was 231 miles per hour. This was the windiest day. The speed of which rain falls to the earth is 7 miles per hour. Of course, windy or stormy conditions might change this speed. We got this fact from our local radio station, WCLU. Locally this weekend, expect today, fog early today, becoming partly sunny. Friday, record high around 75 degrees with a chance of rain. Yeah. This Friday evening, tonight, 30% chance of thunderstorms. This weekend for Saturday, it's going to be partly sunny and cooler. Oh no, high around 60 degrees with a chance of rain. Saturday evening is partly cloudy. Sunday it's going to be low 36 with a high of 69. And we'll take a look at the national weather map. In Massachusetts and Connecticut and Rhode Island, it's 50 degrees. In South Carolina, it's 80 degrees. And around Kentucky and Tennessee, there's thunderstorms. Texas is 90 degrees. Nebraska is 50 degrees. And in Utah and Colorado, there's flurries. In California, it's rain with 60 degrees. And up in Oregon, there's some showers. And up here in Wisconsin, there's rain with 50 degrees. Now to Katie with more news.
The House of Representatives passed a bill 31-1 that would no longer require schools to mix children of different ages and abilities in the ungraded primary program. The program consists of what used to be kindergarten, first, second, and third grades. The bill passed 89-4 and now has to go to the Kentucky Senate for discussion. A 2-year-old boy was taken to the University of Kentucky Medical Center during one of our cold days after he was discovered outside without shoes or a coat on in Lexington, Kentucky at 4:30 a.m. by the Lexington Fire Department. The boy suffered hypothermia and frostbite on his ears and toes. He is listed in good condition. Let's everyone remember to wear plenty of clothing during the cold winter weather. And now for local news. Doctor reception, a community-wide reception honored a special retiring physicians was held on Sunday, February 4th, 2 through 4 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall of Christian church. A memory book was given to each of the physicians by the Barron County Medical Society. The public brought personal notes and cards to the doctor of their choice to be placed in the memory book. The reception was a huge success. Mr. Bobby Pardue, the world's greatest custodian, was honored today at Happy Valley School. We are celebrating Mr. Pardue's 30th anniversary at Happy Valley. He was presented with a plaque and many, many thanks for everyone at Happy Valley School. Thanks again, Mr. Pardue. And now to Danielle with People Personalities.
Hello, I'm Danielle Clark with People Personalities, and today's guest is Coach Harris. Coach Harris, have you been pleased with your team's performance this year?
Well, right now I'm very pleased. We're on a 4-game winning streak. We're heading into the district tournament next Wednesday night against Edmonson County. But basketball season is a long season. We've been working. Coach Bartley started out while I was in golf, started conditioning back in September. So the girls that we have right now have worked extremely hard the entire year. They've been pretty much working every day for the last 5 months. So all that hard work from the last 5 months plus last summer hopefully is going to pay off starting this week. But our record right now is 14-9 going into the district tournament. We've played 5 games against teams that's ranked in the top 10 in the state. We played the number 1 team in the state at that time, Oldham County, Bullitt East, who is currently ranked 3rd, and then locally here in Monroe County we've played twice that is ranked 5th in the state. So I've been overall for the season, been really pleased.
We have seen advertisements on TV that says sports are good for girls. Do you agree?
Well, I'm going to let Coach Bartley answer that question.
I think they're good for girls because used to see advertisement of just women doing aerobics or something like that, and now you see them playing basketball or mountain climbing and other things you think of just men doing. So it shows that women can do all types of sports.
Did girls participate in sports when you were in high school?
They did, but maybe not as much so as they do now. I think you have more girls coming out now than as you did when I was in high school. I think it's more accepting, a little bit more accepting now, and they have more variety. Like now we have soccer and softball. We just got my junior year when I was in high school, so they've had a while to build up that program.
Which do you think your team is better at, offense or defense?
Really, right now, I think, and always been a firm believer that defense usually, wins big games. And I think overall for the year, we have been an excellent defensive team. There have been nights that we haven't shot the basketball well, just like last night at Franklin Simpson. We were 15 of 52 shooting, but we did win the game by 5 points, and the big difference was that we did a good job for the entire game, especially the last quarter, holding Franklin Simpson to 6 points. So I feel like really we have an excellent team that is a very good defensive team when they set their minds to it. But defense really is just really hard work and playing smart. But this year we have been a lot better balanced as far as their scoring. We have more than just 1 or 2 girls that can score, and I think that's very important because a lot of teams will key on those key players. But I feel like we've done a really good job this year, picking our offense up.
For the girls here at our school who are interested in basketball, what would you encourage them to do if they want to be Lady Scotties in the future?
Well, I think the big thing, and right now, with everybody at the age that they are, I think they need to be involved in a variety of things just to see what things that they're really interested in. As far as athletics, I think athletics really teaches how to get along with people because you have teammates and coaches that you have to see every day that you've got to be able to get along with. If you're having a bad day or if they're having a bad day, you've got to, kindly overlook that and keep your head up, try to keep everybody else in a positive attitude. But if anyone's interested in, possibly being a Lady Scotty, not just in basketball, softball, golf, I think you need to get involved at an early age. I think you need to try to do the things the right way, have someone that is knowledgeable of the game that can help you, like dribbling, like shooting. That's just some examples that you can do on your own, but to be a good athlete, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of hard work, not just to be an athlete. If you're a band member, whatever you're involved in, we try to strive and teach our girls at the high school to be the best that they can be in whatever it is and to give everything that they have. But I think that's probably the most important thing.
Are grades important to be considered for being on your team?
Well, grades are very important, and that's one of the things that I'm very proud of our girls. In the last 3 years, I've had excellent students that have played basketball for me. They are required by the state to pass 4 classes, and that's the minimum requirement. But the girls that I have, they exceed that. This first semester, out of the 20 girls that we have play for us, our grade point average as a team was 96, which is an A average, and I think that really speaks highly of our school system, speaks highly of the girls that we have, and also the teachers that have brought these girls all the way up through their different grades. But grades are the most important thing to me. First thing, they've got to be able to get it done in the classroom, and I've been, like I said, very lucky that I've had excellent students as well as excellent players.
We heard you play high school and college basketball. Could you tell us about that and if you still play basketball?
Well, I was fortunate enough to play basketball here at Glasgow High School. In fact, this is my old elementary school. I went here 5 years. It's still the same as it was. It's one of the most recognized elementary schools, so I feel like I got a real good background being from this school system. I was fortunate enough to play with a lot of good players here at Glasgow High School back in the late 70s. I was lucky enough to play college basketball 4 years at Cumberland College, which I felt like pretty much was a big part of my life as far as teaching me that with hard work and with dedication, any of your goals, can be accomplished. But I love being around basketball. It's been a big part of my life. You asked me if I still like playing. I still like playing, but not against usually younger guys. I usually try to play with people around my own age, but I like getting out every now and then and playing.
Have you ever been mad over losing a game?
Well, yeah, quite a few times. I think my wife ought to be in here to answer that question better than I can, but I have been disappointed during the years. I think when you play for 30 years of your life, there's times that there are disappointments, but at the same time there's been a lot of bright spots. In fact, there's been a lot more bright spots, a lot more positive times than there has been disappointments. But there have been times that I've gotten upset, but the big reason I've gotten upset probably is at myself, because I felt like I didn't do the best job that I could do, whether it was playing, whether it was coaching. But the majority of the time, I always usually put the blame on myself.
Do you have any words of wisdom to kids about how to handle the frustration of losing or how to act to the other team when you win?
Well, I think frustration, there's always going to be frustrations in life, no matter whether it's with schoolwork, whether it's with basketball, whether it's with any athletics or anything in life. There's always going to be disappointments. Everybody has them pretty much every day or every week. The big advice that I would probably give is that I think everyone needs to try to do the best that they can, whatever that they're doing. I think they need to try to encourage everyone that they're around to do the best that they can. And my players know that I get upset with them, but the biggest part that I get upset probably is I know the things that they can do and they can't do. And when I know when they're not giving everything they have, and they also know that too. But when a person's giving everything that they have and they're trying to do the best that they can, I never get frustrated. And I think everyone, if you're doing the best that you can, I feel like that you need to just continue on, work hard, and you'll do a good job in life. But as far as acting when you lose to other teams, I've been again very lucky to have girls and boys in the past that have responded well. They've accepted the losses. They've gone back and tried to work on the things that caused them to lose possibly a game. But again, as long as they work hard and they do the best they can, that's all I ever ask of them.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your family or hobbies or anything?
Well, I've been coaching now for 12 years, and like I said, it's been a big part of my life. And I've had great support of my family. My wife teaches here at Happy Valley. I'm lucky to have someone that supports me as much as she does. And I have two children, Megan, who is a second grader from Miss Elmore here, and Laura Beth, who will be in kindergarten here next year. So we're looking forward to being involved with Happy Valley. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Perdue, and I'm going to tell my age a little bit right here. His 30 years, that was when his first year was my first, was when I was in first grade here under Miss Smith. So I can, Mr. Perdue's been a tremendous person. I mean, he's as nice of a person that I've ever been around, and we like to, I like to send my congratulations to him. I think Mr. Foster and his staff does an excellent job here. That's the reason I feel like my kids are very lucky, to be going to school here. As far as my hobbies, basketball pretty much is my biggest part of my hobby, along with golf, and trying to spend as much time with my family as I can. I like to say that I feel like I've gotten good players in the past. I've had good assistant coaches. Coach Bartley has done a good job for her first year, and we wanted to, I think Miss Miner wanted to let her give possibly a couple of her duties here that she has during the basketball season, because like I said, it's a very long season.
Well, I have a lot of duties. I coach the JV team and the freshman team. My responsibility mainly with them is to make sure that they learn the plays and they learn how to play in game situations and try to correct them of the mistakes that they've had in the past of games they've been playing, and to teach them fundamentals. Basically, fundamentals is one of the most important things. And if they have their fundamentals by the time they get ready to play on varsity, then they're ready to start playing with better competition. And as far as being on with varsity with Coach Harris, I feel like a lot of my job is when the players come out of the game is to try to help them with situations that they've had to deal with during the game, anything that I can tell them to help them play better when they go back in. Or like last night we had a situation, a player got hurt. I have to help them so they can go back into the game. I told Coach Harris, I said one of my jobs was to help him keep from getting technicals because I don't want him thrown out. But we don't have to worry about that too much. He does a good job with that. But I just, there's different situations that come up during games, and I have to do different things. But I've learned a lot this year by coaching with Coach Harris, and there's always things coming up that I have to do, just little things. There's one of our jobs is to wash uniforms, which may not be my favorite thing to do, but that's something we have to do for the girls, and Coach Harris helps out with that. So just with mainly being able to coach really 3 teams, there's a lot of work involved, and you have a lot of kids to coach. But I do enjoy it, and I think I'm lucky to be able to be part of the coaching staff of this team because we have a very good team this year, and one of the best teams that I've known Glasgow to have, and the first chance we've ever had to win the district. And I'm proud of the girls that we've had this year. They've come a long way, and they deserve the credit that they've got.
Coach Fleener is the coach of Glasgow High School boys. Here's a video of Danielle interviewing him at GHS Gym.
But we have entered a place that most kids don't see when they come to watch basketball games. We're back in the back and we're getting ready to enter the locker rooms. Danielle Clark is heading toward the locker room now, along with some Glasgow High School students.
This is the ladies' Scotty's locker room where they keep their clothes. This is Coach Harris's office. This is where he plans his plays. The visiting team's dressing room.
The ladies' Scotty's, you can see.
Softball
this is dressing room. Is this nice as the ladies' Scotty's?
These are the boys' lockers. This is where they plan their plays. This is the shower. This is the weight room. Coach Eubank's football team works out here too.
And here's Natalie Eubank.
Try to answer the questions and solve the problems.
HS Gym interviewing Coach Fleener. The first question is, Coach Fleener, have you been pleased with your team's performance this year?
Yes, very much so, because one out of all things. Yes, I've been very pleased with them. They, from day one, they've worked very hard. They've done everything the coaching staff has asked of them. They're never going to quit in the games, and they're going to play hard every day and come to practice and practice hard every day. And if they do that, then I'll be pleased with them no matter what the record.
The next question we wanted to ask was, which do you think your team's better at, offense or defense?
Well, I like to think they're better at defense. Hopefully, they like offense a little better. You know, everybody likes to shoot it and dribble the ball and stuff. But I think defense is what's actually going to win the games and win the championships down the road there. So I hope that we're becoming better at defense.
The next question is, are grades important to be considered for being on your team?
Yes, very much so. We have one of our goals on our wall says that we've got to make a 3.0 GPA as a team. Now what that means is that we've got to average as a team B's or better. And the first 9 weeks we were able to meet those goals. Our team had an 89 average the first 9 weeks and an 88 or 89 average the second 9 weeks. So we're meeting those goals right now and hope to continue to do so. But yes, if you don't make your grades, you're not eligible to play on the team. You can't even come out, no matter how good a basketball player you might be. Grades comes first, and our kids on our team are really student athletes.
The next question is, have you ever been mad over losing a game?
Yes, at times. You know, we all want to win. We're competitive, and I'm probably one of the most competitive. But it goes back to what we said earlier. If the kids play as hard as they can and don't quit, and I coach as hard as I can and feel like I've got the team prepared, then I can handle a loss. You know, I can live with that. It's not a problem. You go out and you play as hard as you can, and you take what comes. You know, it's a competition that you play for. You know, it's the thrill of the competition, going out and playing against another team and seeing if you're better than them, and they really make you measure up to your standards. And competition brings out the best in you. So I don't think you need to get frustrated when you lose. The time you need to get frustrated is when you haven't given your best. That's when you might get mad at yourself.
Do you have any words of wisdom to kids about how to handle the frustration of losing or how to act to the other team when you win?
I think we talked a little bit about handling losing. Just giving your best, you'll be able to know that, hey, there was nothing else I could have done. On the aspect of winning and handling winning, I think you need to realize that they want to win just as much as you do, and they work just as hard as you do to get ready for the game. And somebody's got to come out on the losing end. And so you need, when you see the losers down there, a team that and I don't like to call them losers, just a team that didn't score as many points as you. You got to realize that could be you on the other end, and you got to understand that. And you don't need to gloat or make fun of. You need to be happy that you won, not happy that they lost.
We know you like sports, but we hear you also like reading. Could you tell us what you like to read or what you've read lately?
Yes, I do enjoy reading. I've read all through my life, but I really got into reading some fiction novels about 4 years ago. It was my first year of coaching, and reading fiction novels, and I like to read suspense, mystery kind of things. And that really can kind of give you a break from the stresses of coaching and teaching, and it kind of lets you escape from reality a little bit and get into another world, reading about somebody and their adventures and solving a mystery. And it's kind of fun. It just takes you away and helps you relax a little bit. I really like to read John Grisham's books, as well as Patricia Cornwell. She's a good mystery writer. Elizabeth George is a real good mystery writer, and I just got through reading one of her books. That was the last book I read, and that was Missing Joseph. And that was about a boy that had been missing, and they had to try to find out who did it. It's kind of fun and it relaxes, and I would encourage kids to read for enjoyment. I think sometimes they say, well, we got to read this in our textbook or something like that. Yeah, you got to read your textbook. Sometimes you got to read to get information, but read for enjoyment, and that's something that you can take with you the rest of your life.
Shot of Coach Fleener showing Danielle how to shoot a layup. Way to go, Danielle!
Now for Student of the Week. The Student of the Week this week is modeling clothes appropriate for the weekend weather. Expect clear skies with chance of rain. This raincoat was provided by the Happy Valley Austin Found Department. If anyone in our viewing audience recognizes this coat, they may come to Happy Valley and claim it. Our Student of the Week this week receives a gift certificate for a free meal, compliments of Shoney's, and a golden pen from Happy Valley School. This Student of the Week is nominated by Miss Harris. The Student of the Week is kind to her friends, her big brother, and little sister. Congratulations, Casey Albany. Now back to Katie.
Tune in next Friday at 9 o'clock for more HVE.
Calvert and Nunn Insurance not only offer a variety of policies, but are exceptional in their customer service and up-to-date quotes. Contact Vicki Bartley and her staff for any of your insurance needs. Calvert and Nunn Insurance is next to the Plaza Theater in downtown Glasgow.